Hello, welcome back. I'm Statman Dave. Today we're going to be taking a look at where the Manchester United go next. We're going to be looking at what Scholes said, what Rio said, and of course what Owen Hargreaves was talking about. I think they all make some really good points. But anyway, check out SofaScore, link in the description below. Subscribe if you're new. Let's dive in.
If you bring in Mbappe and Haaland this summer, United ain't winning the league.
Well,
they're not winning. It doesn't matter who you bring in. It needs to be from the top down.
Well, I think that was there's a lot of solid points in that. I really do. I think when you look at Manchester United, one of the concerns is, when is it going to, how long is it going to take to be back? How long is it going to take to win the league? And that's a big thing that I've consistently spoke about is the idea of you building a model of a team that's young. You build a young team model and then you move forward and then you compete at a certain point 3 or 4 years down the line. You don't sign players at the back end of their career or in their prime. You sign players at a young age and then you build them to this point. And it's a big thing. The comments coming out of there. Rio saying that Mbappe and Haaland wouldn't change Man United. I completely agree with that. 1 signing, 2 signings doesn't change anything. It's that whole mentality and change, and what we saw that against Atletico, the mentality being completely wrong. And Scholes saying there's a lot of pain, there's more to come. I kind of agree with that. And him also going into it being, this is something that might take a few managers, a few coaches down the line. And I think you look at the last maybe transfer window in a sense and you see, Ronaldo signed at 36, Rafael Varane signed at 28, and then Jadon Sancho signed at 20. For me, that's 2 different mentalities and 2 different strategies. Me personally would have gone down the line of going, okay, what 20-year-olds in world football are here right now? United aren't competing. If we're realistic, United were not competing at the start of the season. So signing Ronaldo and Rafa Varane doesn't make sense because their team is so far away from being at the top level or being at the City and Liverpool level. That doesn't make sense. So build a team for the next 3 or 4 years to go there. So, signing an Isak, a Jonathan David, a Sven Botman, a Kanate, an Upamecano would have made a lot more sense. But just in terms of who is the right guy for the job, obviously the next coach is important and I really agree with that. But for me, coaching-wise, you have to look at the style, the philosophy. And obviously Erik ten Hag is the big one. Erik ten Hag is such a good manager. What he's done with Ajax has been simply phenomenal. He's got a clear style of play. It's entertaining. It's exciting. The use of positional rotation, the use of multiple number 10s, as Erik ten Hag talks about it. It's an easy way to get the players on board. It's an entertaining brand, it's an attacking brand of football, and it's a modern brand of football. It's very much like Guardiola, vertical tiki-taka. You're using the ball to move the opposition around, and then you're finding, that type of opening. You take Ajax as a club. So this season where they were unbeaten in the group stage of the Champions League in a good group. Obviously they got knocked out to Benfica, but something that I mentioned previously, that is irrelevant. Man United should be not looking at what's happened this year. This should be, what has the coach done in the last 5 years? What have they done? What have they grown? How have they evolved? And Erik ten Hag has got that evolution. I feel that is one of the most important things at top-level clubs that you have to be able to evolve. Jurgen Klopp's team, Pep Guardiola's team, they've evolved over time. They're not the same team they were 3 years ago. You look at Ajax's team in 18-19 with Van der Beek, with Ziyech, with Tadic, with De Ligt, De Jong. That's changed. De Jong and De Ligt went to superstars. Tadic became one of the best players in the world. You look at this team right now, with the likes of Ryan Gravenberch, Timber, Alvarez, all wonder kids that have been nurtured by Erik ten Hag. Sebastian Haller, second top scorer in the Champions League with 11 goals. That is incredible. Daley Blind, Tadic, improving at such a level. And then you think about signings and getting the right signing at the right time. Steven Berghaus signed in the summer, a top Eredivisie player. But in the Champions League now, he's 0.5 goals or assists per game. That is improvement. That is something that you're looking at from a perspective of this could change Man United. Who is the coach to come in that Scholes and Rio were talking about to change this? For me, it's Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag is at this point right now where he is the guy. He is the guy that I would be spending all my energy right now in getting to Old Trafford. You think with Ajax as well out the Champions League, that means now is the time to talk to Erik ten Hag. This is the time. The Eredivisie obviously is still in play, and there's a real race with PSG this season, but it's irrelevant for me. What happens this year is absolutely irrelevant. We talk about the style, the structure, the wide wingers, the inverted fullbacks, the number 8 moving into number 10. The creation of a back 3 in possession, the diamond in a possession perspective, all these things are top level, footballing ideas at the moment. And that's something that United need to kind of get on the back of and move forward. When we look about Man United as well and we talk, where they need to go, what do they need to sign? So, we're looking at the kind of the squad now, the basic things that we know about Man United. Who's going to come in under Erik ten Hag? You think Diogo Dalot is going to be a sensational fullback in there. Luke Shaw could be that third centre-back. We all know that we all know that a number 6 is needed. Like, that is just so standard. But also you look at the team, you're looking at a number 9 needs to potentially be brought in and a new right winger. So we're looking at 4 players again in the starting lineup with potentially throwing a centre-back in there. 4 players again that Man United need to buy. It's the same. How many summers in a row has it been 4 players? And again, like, looking at what Scholes and Ferdinand and Owen were saying then, like, you've got to view Man United in the long term. Like, how do you get to this point where we sign now a 20-year-old DM, a 20-year-old right winger, and a 20-year-old striker? Then in 3 to 4 years' time, we can be competitive. And that has to be the idea. It's not about getting a new manager, then making the signings. It's about making signings and then getting a manager that fits those signings. And that has to be the idea, a philosophy of the overall squad. And to be quite honest, my philosophy for Man United, wide wingers, because that is traditionally Man United. Wingers has always been a thing Man United have played with. But update the rest of the mentality. So we're like, okay, we want to play with a 6, we want to play with a third centre-back in there, we want to play with an inverted wing-back. That's a modern style. But we're still playing the Man United way, where we're dominating the ball, we dominate possession, and we're using width to attack. And that's exactly what Erik ten Hag would bring Manchester United. And that is the future. That's where United should go. And that's what United should do. United shouldn't be a club that just pays high wages, because that's what they are right now. The style, there isn't anything really there. I don't think it doesn't appear to be a nice dressing room to be around with all the leaks. So, it doesn't have prestige of winning Champions League and Premier League. So what is it? Simply just plays over the rate for players. It needs to move away from that. And how you do that is signing young players that don't have egos, that want to improve and want to get better. And that's exactly what you do. I don't want to see another signing over 24, 25 for the next 10 years. I just think that is the wrong demographic of player. It really is. And you have to look at the future in football and where football's going and how you evolve a team. And that, for me, is how you're going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Do get into the comments below. Where do you think Manchester United should go next? Do you agree with what Scholes was saying, with what Rio was saying, or what Owen Hargreaves was saying? And check us out next time. Like that video. We'll see you later.